Yo, what's up, friends? Happy Monday. Happy August 18th. And it is back to school, back to you. It is that time of year. Oh my gosh. Isn't it wild having your kids going back to school? I know a lot of you feel me on that one. Here's the thing though. I mean, my kids ended up going back to school a couple weeks ago. Here in Arizona, we started early. What's up, Kim Kabbalah? What's up, Stephanie Spade? We got the collective in the house. What's up, Yash? I like that. Yasha. Yasha, what's up? Wild ass Craig. Whoa. What's up, dude? Hey, Tamara. I love you back. What's up, Minnesota? Hello, Sweden. What's up, Alex? Good Monday morning, everybody. Hey, Jeannie. What's up, Hayden? All right, friends. Hey, I've got questions for all the parents out there who just sent your kids back to school, because I know it's about that time right now in most of the United States. I see France is here. What's up, Tina Cooper? What's up, Sophia or Sophie? Sophie in France. Wow. Yasha's in Boston. Daily Essentials is in Michigan. Bonjour, Christine. BC, beautiful Victoria, BC. Holy smokes. I was actually just talking with a good friend of mine. A couple of my really good friends are from Victoria, BC. I used to take the ferry out there from Seattle. It was awesome. Jeannie, how are you in both places? Oh my gosh, you're all over it. What's up? Huge car guy too. Man, I love it. I'm dying to know what kind of cars you're into. Oh, I love it. She's enjoying that meatloaf. Wendy, yo, that meatloaf was nails, right? Wendy, did you do beef or turkey? I know we switched it up between everybody, but I like I mentioned, guys, I've been making meatloaf for like the last week, just testing recipes, and then we really just nailed it. And I made the most delicious meatloaf yesterday. Granted, it was with beef, and I complained about it on my stories because beef is so insanely expensive right now. It's like $9.50 a pound for extra lean ground beef, which is it's unreal. Which, by the way, that's for the extra lean 96%. Now, granted, you can go to Costco, you can get 10 pounds, and it's called a chub. It's actually called a chub. It's like a big tube of beef, but typically at Costco, it's like 90%. Every once in a while, I think you can find it at 92 or 93. If you want the 96% extra lean ground beef, though, it's going to be a little bit more. I got mine at Walmart. Walmart, $9.49 per pound. That's absolutely insane. So, anyway, guys, the meatloaf is just incredible. I don't know if and I never liked meatloaf growing up, but it's my jam now. So it just, it is so good. So we made the most delicious meatloaf in the collective yesterday. We had a ton of fun doing it. We also made some pretty awesome quesadillas, little Southwestern style quesadillas with jalapeno cheese sauce over the top. Man, it was good. It was so good. All right, here we go. I'm going to jump over to Facebook. I see Dawn is here. What up, Colleen in Louisiana? Stacy. Yes, Stacy. I love that you're loving my cookbook. Thank you to everybody who picked it up. And again, I mean, I had so much fun. It's a labor of love creating that for you guys. And I can't take all the credit. In fact, the collective, we meal prep every week in the collective. And so it's really cool because these recipes have evolved over the last year and a half as we've been making them in the collective. I've been making a handful of them for years, but now we've really started exploring them, and it's just been so much fun. And so, yes, the muffins, those strawberries and cream muffins, aren't those incredible? I don't know how many of you have made them yet, but they are awesome. I will be posting the recipe again on Insta and Facebook tomorrow. And so and let me tell you, they are a party favorite, especially when people go, wait a second, these have got 5 grams of carbs in them and 13 grams of protein per muffin. You got to be kidding me. Yeah. And imagine, guys, we can do it with all kinds of different things. You could always do like a blueberries and cream. You could do, the sky's the limit. We can have a lot of fun with these high protein foods. So thank you for picking that up, Stacy. What up, Kim in Pennsylvania? What's up, Patricia? Hey, Beth Tupper. What is up? Yes. Listen to this, guys. We have to celebrate with Beth really quick. She's been on her transformation journey for quite some time. She jumped on here to let us know that her blood work just came back amazing. She's at her doctor's office right now, and she literally jumped on here to tell us that her blood work came back amazing. She's cleaned up her nutrition. She's moving more. She's been a member of our collective for quite some time. Beth, thank you so much for jumping in and letting us know. You just made my morning. This is awesome. Oh, cool. Okay, Stephanie, what up? Steve, what's up? Hello, Lynn Stein. She's in the house right now. What up, Eddie? Got the whole crew on. Okay, jumping back over here to Insta. All right. Hey, friends, we got Emily from Abu Dhabi is on. Assalamu alaikum, my friend. Here we go. Gonzaga Johnson. So Gonzaga Johnson, your kids started school August 1st. Gonzaga, I'm guessing you must be in the Eastern Washington area with a name like Gonzaga Johnson. Just going to go out on a limb there. Boy, Gonzaga, they really put themselves on the, of course, having gone to school in Washington State, I know Gonzaga really well, but for the rest of the country, they really put themselves on the map with basketball, of course. All right, here we go. Minsk. Oh, wow. We got Minsk, Belarus in the house. Sergey, what's up? Thanks so much for joining us. And Prague. Wow. This is so cool. Yes. Hey, I don't know how to say it. Patuos. You bought the cookbook as well, my friend. I'm so excited. I just hope you guys love these recipes again, to open up your eyes to a world of options. So it's not chicken and broccoli anymore. You can have a ton of fun. All right. Here we go. Got some questions for you guys really quick. For everyone whose kids have finally started school again, how many of you are ready for a little bit of structure? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready for some structure again, or a thumbs down if you want it to stay summer with the kiddos forever. Now, granted, there's no right or wrong answers here, but I know it's awesome having some structure, but it's also awesome having some fun with the kids. However, so thumbs down if you're like, no way, I wish it could be summer forever. Thumbs up if you're like, okay, I'm ready for a little bit of structure again. Yeah, Cassie says yes. All right, here we go. I'm jumping over here to Insta. Oh, it's thumbs up all over across the board. Mom to 3 boys. Okay, I'm guessing you know this grind really well, mom to 3 boys. She says yes. Lunches and Littles, yes. Glow Happy by Tink, yes. Danielle's Comeback Journey. Jeannie, yes. A. Haney. Mimi Nelka. Everybody's saying yes. Okay. Allie and Jake. I'm seeing some yeses and nos with Allie and Jake. Kim, I get it. Kim says she wants summer fun forever. Liz Moffat. Okay, we are overwhelmingly thumbs ups. I'm with you guys. Oh, Maria says thumbs down though. She wants it to be summer forever. Patricia says yes. Thumbs up. Oh my gosh. Jessica Thompson says, I'm a mom of 6 here. Yes. Looking forward to some structure. Oh man. I get it. Oh, so funny. Yeah, guys, let me tell you, my kids ended up going back to school a couple weeks ago, and it has been really nice having some structure again. More than anything, and I'm speaking to the parents out here, more than anything, for me, what feels good is that they're actually interacting with other kids and having fun, because I don't know about you guys, I've felt a significant amount of parent guilt when it's summer and my kids are sitting around, but I've got to work. And so, they did a couple summer camps and everything, but other than that, it was just like, and it's, 115 degrees outside. So there's only so much we can do. We don't have a swimming pool. And so I know the neighbors were wonderful enough to let us use their pool, but I felt so bad. And so it's like, and granted, at least they got each other so they could play, but more than anything, I just feel a sense of relief. I don't know about you guys, but just a big sense of relief in that, and I'd say relief from my parent guilt. So anyway, this is awesome. Thanks for jumping in there and answering, guys. Okay. I got some more questions for you guys. Here's another question for you, because I really want to start off this week focusing on gratitude, but gratitude for yourself. This is a question that I ask. This is my group, the collective. I know I mention the collective all the time. They're my private coaching group, but we talked about this last Wednesday. We kind of opened up with this, and I want you guys to share with me, and because this is gonna spark some thinking on your part, but also some gratitude for how freaking awesome you are. What's something that used to derail you but doesn't anymore? Maybe it was you used to, get home after a long day of work and you would sit on the couch and just eat a tub of ice cream. Or maybe it was work stress and, just the overwhelming stress from work or your boss or whatever. And it used to just get you rattled and it doesn't anymore. What's something that used to derail you and it doesn't anymore? I want to celebrate your progress, but you got to do some thinking on this one. Dark Rum says Doritos and dip. Yeah, I hear you. Ashley Invisible says alcohol. Way to go, Ashley. That's huge. Congratulations. Sonia's Journey, ice cream. Awesome. Well, and here's the best part. You can make really delicious high protein ice cream that tastes just like the real deal. And I'm not messing around. There's a bunch of stuff out there that tastes like crap, but you can actually there's some amazing ingredients out there to do some high protein ice cream that's low in calories. It's in my recipe book, by the way. I've got 8 of them. Okay, Michael, here we go. Says chocolate. A. Haney, going out to eat. Kim says bread. Danielle says sugar. Here we go. Jeannie, here we go. The drive-through. See, I like where we're going here because it's not just the food. It's the action. It's the habit. It's the ritual. The drive-through. She says, I used to be the person who would stop there, and I'm no longer that person. Can you hear that? It's an identity shift. By the way, guys, if you identity-based goals, when you start practicing being someone else, like saying, that's just not me anymore. I'm the kind of person who does this. When you start having that conversation with yourself, all the literature suggests that is what actually anchors you into long-term change. Not objective-based goals, not I want to lose 30 pounds and so I'm going to make these sacrifices. No, I'm the kind of person that I just like making food in my home anymore. I don't go to the drive-thru anymore. That's not me anymore. And when you start practicing that, then you start losing the weight. Yeah, you'll lose the 30 pounds, but you'll end up keeping it off when you become that person. It's something you can start practicing, and you're never too old to start. Neuroplasticity, the ability for the brain to change, is something we can do forever. I love that. Okay, here we go. Another one. Stephanie says fast food. Here we go. Silly Jackie got out of an abusive relationship. Happy single for years now. Single club. Let's go. Happy and single too. Right here, my friend. Oh my gosh. Sonia's Journey. She says, I used to eat a bucket of ice cream a day. I eat protein ice cream now. How freaking amazing is protein ice cream? Okay. And along those lines, how awesome is the Ninja Creamy also? Again, I have no dog in the fight here. Granted, a good buddy of mine was the project manager of the Creamy. He helped create it. And I can't tell you how many times I have thanked him from the bottom of my heart for creating a machine that allows us all to eat really delicious ice cream with the right ingredients, of course. Okay, some folks over here on Facebook that I want to celebrate. Kate Russell, negative thinking. The second it creeps in, you shut it down. I love that. And number one, you're aware of it. You can capture it when it's happening, and then you can reframe it. That's powerful, my friend. And when you can manage your stress like that, and when you can manage that negative self-talk in your head, it's going to give you so much more control. You're not going to feel that need to reach for food, right? We do that to stop the suffering inside. We do that to numb and to comfort, not because you're physically hungry. So that's huge that you can do that, Kate. Good job. Dawn, I love this. She says, I used to hit myself and call myself stupid. Yeah, that's definitely something that you want to stop. I mean, number one, be aware of it when it's happening, reframe it and say, hey, look, I'm human. I can make mistakes. I can do one thing at a time. Guys, reframing is so powerful when it comes to that negative self-talk. Pete says pasta and carbs. Kim says chocolate. Here we go. Maria says getting home late and tired and not planning and prepping healthy dinners, man. It doesn't derail her anymore. Good job, my friend. Well done. Yo, these are great. These are so good. Leanne Hughes says weighing daily. Little increases and I would be eating my feelings. What an incredible thing to be aware of, my friend. Took me a long time to see it for what it is, but it's just water and you're spot on. You cannot gain or lose body fat that fast. You guys know that if you could actually, if you could step on the scale and it only showed you body fat increases or decreases, do you know how much that scale would move by? Maybe like max 0.25 pounds a day. You wouldn't see up 3 pounds, down 4 pounds, up 5 pounds, down 3 pounds. You wouldn't see that. The scale would literally say up 0.2 pounds, down 0.125 pounds. You're better off measuring it in like single grams, basically, because that's how your body actually loses body fat. It's very, very small compared to these massive fluctuations in water. But when you step on the scale every day, if you don't understand and appreciate your incredible body for how it works, you're along for this crazy emotional roller coaster ride that ain't worth it. It's not worth putting yourself through that if you don't understand, or if you can't step on the scale and say, look, I understand that I'm going to be all over the place with water. It's huge to be able to do that. Separate yourself from that. Good job, Leanne. All right. Ashley says she switched from drinking White Claws every day after work to deal with the stress to going on walks every day. Wow, that's powerful. Yes, that is, Ashley, good on you, my friend. That is really, really incredible. Hippie Heart says she was 254 pounds, now 227. Yes, good job, my friend. Okay, she's saying, how do I lower that? She's got some visceral fat. Okay, and that's okay. We all do, but keep in mind we can also reduce it. She walks 10,000 steps a day and drinking your water. Here's the thing: you're going to reduce your visceral fat the same way that you're going to be reducing your subcutaneous fat, and that's going to be that consistency, a consistent calorie deficit. Keep going with your water. Keep going with your walks. Keep going with that deficit. Optimize your sleep. Try to manage your stress as best you can as well. That's going to be really important. All right. Hey, let's keep these questions going. And okay, back to which, by the way, thank you guys so much for sharing some of the things that used to derail you. Oh my gosh, Hannah Stevens from EWL. She just jumped on here. What's up, my friend? Oh my gosh, so good to see you on here. Yo. Okay, so guys, going back to what you just shared about something that used to derail you and doesn't anymore. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess that most of us are over 18 years old. Now, you think that, we can only make changes if we're younger. No. Look at these powerful changes that you all made, and we're full-grown adults. And if you can do that, think about what else you could possibly do to improve your life. And it's these tiny, just think of one thing that's a habit or a ritual that you do every day that you simply want to change just a little bit of it. You can absolutely do that. And it's because you just proved to yourself, you're sharing all of these victories with me right now. And so and that's the beauty of it, is that, but here's the one thing I'm going to ask. Don't take on too much too soon. Remember, it's just pick one tiny thing and then you start to make those changes to it. And you want to know what you do? Is that you always, think of what, instead of doing this is what I want to do. And here's what you do. If you want to rewire your brain to doing a new habit or a new ritual, no matter what, even if you do the old habit or ritual, you still have to stack the new habit or ritual on top of it. There's only one way to get good at doing the thing that you want to do, and that's that you got to do it. And so it's one of those things where it's like, well, I really want to stop eating chips at night, after I get home from a long day of work and I'm super stressed. Well, so here's the thing. Well, let's go ahead and let's surround yourself with all kinds of alternatives. So you're going to get home, make sure that you've got some healthy alternatives that are available to you. So instead of eating chips, I'll have popcorn available to me. I'll have fruit that's ready to rock. I'll have some diet soda that's cold and in the fridge and waiting for me. I'll have some high protein ice cream waiting for me in the freezer. You'll have all these things ready. And guess what? Sometime you're probably going to eat the chips. It's going to happen. So what do you do after you eat the chips? Stack on top of it the habit that you want to replace it with, because halfway through the chips, you're going to think, I still got to eat my high protein ice cream. Halfway through the chips, I still got to eat the popcorn. If you want to start adopting a new habit or a new ritual or a new behavior, you have to do it. Neurons that fire together wire together. And so it forces you, I guarantee all of you, you will be far more mindful about doing the habit that you don't want to do. You'll be halfway through it and thinking, oh man, I still need to eat the fruit, the ice cream, and the popcorn. And by the way, okay, it is what it is. Because remember, it's about changing those habits in the long term. And so it's the coolest thing in the world, because when you start to do that, again, the more you can repeat that behavior, then you're going to start to fire those neurons together and you can start to change it. So super proud of you guys. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Okay. One more question for you, and then we can get back to, and then you guys can actually put me in the hot seat. Hold on really quick. Actually, put me in the hot seat right now, because Art just asked a really good question. He says, so what's the story about creatine and solving brain fog? It's funny you ask, Art, because I've literally got 10 grams of creatine in this right now. And I actually wanted to bring this up because I know last week we were talking about how much creatine we should be taking on a regular basis. Now, 5 grams daily, 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily, that is like the standard dose to saturate your muscles. However, there is some really cool new literature that's coming out that is showing creatine at higher doses, 10, 15, 20 grams is actually what seems to be making all the difference as far as our cognitive thought processes and our ability to problem solve, especially, I won't say especially, but even in sleep deprived conditions. And so there seems to be a lot, because our brain uses creatine. It's as part of just the cognitive, I want to use the right verbiage here without, and I want to respect the proper verbiage here. I'm trying to think of the language actually used as far as the process through which creatine is utilized in the brain for cognitive thinking and focus and concentration. Because they've found, and this is again what the literature seems to suggest. In fact, a very recent study came out this year showing 20 grams of creatine and how it almost completely nullified the lack of, or the drop in cognitive process for sleep deprived individuals. So they took these individuals who were severely sleep deprived, and this is just within a 24-hour period though. So they were sleep deprived, and so they couldn't think clearly, they couldn't focus, their energy was low. They gave them 20 grams of creatine. Thank you, Trish. Cognitive function. Thank you. And they could not think clearly. And then sure enough, they gave them 20 grams of creatine, and they were able to problem solve. They were able to think clearly. They were able to focus as if they were not sleep deprived at all. Literally, I just saw this study within the last week, and I went, oh my good Lord, this is incredible. Now, here's the thing. Do not rely on it like a crutch. Don't think, oh, thank goodness, now I can start getting 4 hours of sleep and just load 20 grams of creatine a day. It ain't going to work like that. And by the way, without that kind of sleep, you're going to injure yourself because you can't repair and you can't recover. You'll find anxiety, depression, all kinds of mental health issues would go through the roof because you can't process your thoughts like you need to during REM sleep. You won't get the big growth hormone release during your deep delta wave sleep. I mean, you'd be a wreck if you think you're just going to rely on creatine. However, if you ever find yourself in a pinch, you took a red eye, you have to do a business presentation, you're super nervous the night before and you only slept a couple hours, you're at the hospital with your kid, overnight, and now you got to go to work and you have to perform. Guess what? 15 to 20 grams of creatine, they're actually finding it's making the difference. That's why I got 10 in here, and I'm going to push another 10 later on today. Now, did I get good sleep last night? Yeah. Do I want to just do whatever I can to take this to another level? You better believe it. Heads up. For some individuals, 10 to 20 grams of creatine, it can cause some gastric distress. So be careful if you are one of those individuals. Thank goodness I'm not, but I'm telling you guys, there's something to this creatine. I think I said it last week also, but maybe those meatheads, they weren't so dumb after all, right? They actually knew what they were doing. Because on a couple of different levels. Number one, yeah, they were loading up on creatine. And number two, they were so focused on maintaining their muscle. Well, they're finding that muscle is an organ of longevity. The more muscle you have, the longer it actually it prevents age-related cognitive decline. The more muscle you have, the more you're going to have your faculties about you. And so I mean, it's gonna give you freedom for years beyond. So that's why like sarcopenia, muscle loss, is highly correlated with cognitive decline. And so, hey, there's something to, guys, maintain your muscle. It ain't for aesthetics. It's for freedom. It's for our, I mean, and we need to start thinking about it now, especially all my friends here in midlife, like myself. I mean, it's crucial that we start maintaining our muscle now. And even afterward, you can build your muscle. So it's all good. But yeah, we got to go with it. Oh, Trish says she puts her patients on 10 to 15 grams a day to help with cognitive function who are taking meds that affect the brain. I love it. Yeah, so there's a lot to creatine. Oh, Lisa, great question. Lisa's asking my thoughts on people using Mounjaro. And I know we do. We've covered GLP-1s. And Mounjaro is a GLP-1 and a GIP. It hits both those receptors, GLP-1 and GIP. I am a really, I won't say I'm a big fan. I'm a big believer, and I have so much hope for these tools. And I think they're going to help millions of people. I really believe that they are such an incredibly powerful tool to help reduce the food noise and reduce hunger and cravings while you are establishing the pillars of wellness underneath it. And I know you guys who have followed along with these lives for quite some time, you've heard me talk about this, but I don't think I can talk about it enough, especially because these pills these injectable medications are so popular. I actually had a really great conversation with a couple of nurses over just late last week. And they work with GLP-1 medications, and they were with both tirzepatide and semaglutide. And they were saying that so many of these clients are coming into them, and all they want is the injection. They don't want to hear about diet. They don't want to hear about training. They don't want to hear about anything. They just say, just give me the injection. I just want to lose the weight. And even these nurses are saying, whoa, wait a second, hold on. But it's really important that you must resistance train. You need adequate protein. No, I just want to lose the weight. Let me tell you, here's the thing. If you don't establish resistance training, adequate protein intake, and adequate calories to maintain your muscle, along with you don't do some work to identify where the food noise is coming from in the first place, as much as I love, as much as I'm hopeful for these weight loss medications, semaglutide and tirzepatide, they can do a lot of damage in the long run if you don't do them the right way. If you do them the right way, it could be beautiful. It could take so much of the struggle out of the weight loss journey, and you could transition into maintenance, and you could transition off the medication, and you could literally go cruising into maintenance for the rest of your life. It could be the most incredible experience ever. And now, so many of these barriers with hunger and food noise during the weight loss journey, those problems could be solved. How exciting is that? I'm fired up about it. But if you think you're just going to go ahead and just take the injection and with absolute reckless abandon for your overall wellness with your sleep and your nutrition and your training, you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. And it will be, if you think it's painful now, it will be even more painful in the long run, because you're going to lose a ton of the muscle that we just talked about, which is also going to be your mental faculties, right? Like this is your freedom, on top of your ability to be able to handle the rigors that life throws at you physically. But you're going to lose bone, you're going to lose the muscle, you're going to lose a lot. You'll lose your metabolism in the process, not completely, but you're going to take a massive hit when you start to lose your resting metabolic rate, because you've cannibalized a lot of your muscle. And so, but I think for those who do it the right way, holy smokes, I think it's incredible. So, all right, moving on. Here we go. Okay. Michael Bullard says, how do you feel about AI giving advice? Well, I think here's the thing. AI, it can make mistakes, but it also, I mean, it scours the internet for everything that's out there. And I think it's pretty awesome. He says he did my calculator, which, by the way, I launched a brand new calorie calculator out there. And so it's totally free. If anyone wants to know how many calories your body's burning on a daily basis, it will give you your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories, just an estimate of the amount of calories your body burns at rest. And then you add in your activity levels, how much you move every day. And then it will give you another number, which is your total daily energy expenditure. It's an approximation. It will never be exact because you'll never burn the exact amount of calories every single day. It's impossible. And so it's a window. It's going to be a window plus or minus 50 to 100, maybe even 150, maybe even 200, depending on your size. However, your size and also your estimation of your activity levels. But he says, and ChatGPT said to do less calories than that. Okay, so here's what it does. It gives you your calories, and then it emails you. It'll email you target calories and protein. But here's the thing. It emails you 3 options: a 10% deficit, a 20% deficit, and a 30% deficit if you want to get more aggressive. And so that's up to you. And so again, it's a free calculator. It's in the links in my bio, or you can go to my website, chrispowell.com, just click on calorie calculator, and it will take you to the calorie calculator. From there, it will give you your basal metabolic rate, total daily energy and expenditure. Then it will email you suggested deficit and your protein. So, but Michael, I love that you asked this because yeah, AI could say, well, you should increase your calories even more than that. I'll tell you straight up, my calculator, it's not some crazy algorithm that I came up with in my head. We use what's called the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation for that calculator. And so you can plug your age, weight, height, gender into any Mifflin-St. Jeor equation, and it will come out the exact same because it has actually been, there's a lot of different equations out there to get your metabolism, like the Harris-Benedict equation. There's a handful of them that actually came about in like the 70s and 80s and 90s, but the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation, it seemed to be the most reliable, especially for individuals that were overweight or obese. And so that's the one that I wanted to opt for because that's the majority of the individuals that I'm helping through the journey are coming down from, they are in the overweight to obese category. So I want to serve that population. Those are my peeps. So from there, again, it's going to crunch those numbers and then it gives you the option for the deficit. So Michael, I want to make sure that you got the email because the email will actually give you 3 options. Maybe you're looking at the 10% option in which AI said, well, you want a more aggressive deficit. In that case, you can go for a 20% option, or you can look at there's 3 columns. It's got all 3 options on there for you. 10% is a very mild deficit. 10% would be, and by the way, a mild deficit they've actually found is usually the one that's going to be the most successful in the long term because you don't feel the deprivation or restriction, but the weight comes off slower. 20% to 25% seems to be the average. It seems to be the window that a lot of people like to stay in for weight loss, where you're getting results but you're not creating so much of a deficit that you're experiencing significant hunger and cravings and you're feeling restricted and deprived. 30% deficit, I give it to you also in the email. It's all there. 30% is definitely more on the aggressive side. And it's also a deficit that you don't want to sustain for a long period of time because it can start to cause some hormonal fluctuations. And also keep in mind, your body's so brilliant. If you create a really significant deficit, your body will actually start to take that energy away from other systems, like your reproductive system. So it's there. It's there for educational purposes. And if you want, you can go play in a 30% deficit, 35% deficit for a short window of time. But I don't recommend staying there for a while. But in the calculator email response, I give you all 3. So if you can go to AI and say, put me at a calorie deficit, and it could absolutely suggest one for you. It'll probably run the same. If it's worth its salt, it's going to run you through a Mifflin equation. And then you can create whatever deficit you want from there. The deficit is up to you. You know yourself best. And so if you feel like, oh, I want to feel freedom. I don't want to feel deprived or restricted. Go for a less of a deficit and just know that it's going to take you longer to lose. Or if you're like, I want results now, then you can go for a more aggressive deficit. And then you can stack that against AI, and it should fall within that range. Just be careful. If AI is suggesting a deficit that's greater than 30, 35%, that's really aggressive. And so be careful, because I just don't want you to hurt yourself, especially in the long run. Granted, you'll lose weight fast, but if you start to feel like you're really white knuckling it and grinding it out, not a good place to be, especially in the long term. So I hope that helps, my friend. All right, here we go. So again, guys, apologies for the long-winded answers. I just want to give you as much information as possible so you understand. Rihanna Holloway. Yeah, true. I am with you. I think it's better to lose slower and keep the weight off. And imagine going through the weight loss journey where, yes, it's taking a little bit longer than you might want, but knowing that, first of all, it's really enjoyable and delicious. And yeah, it's taking a little bit longer, but you're so comfortable coming into it. It's also buying you the time to practice taking on your new identity of becoming this new person. And also, if the journey is really enjoyable, chances are you're much more likely to stick to it. You're not going to rebound back thinking, I just got to grind through this chapter where I'm just going to lose the weight. And as soon as I lose the weight, I can go back to the way it was. No, you can't go back to the way it was, because that's going back to the way it was. You're going to go right back to where you were physically as well. And so it's really important that you take that time to really establish your new self, practice that identity. All right, here we go. So Nabila says, can everyone use creatine or only people who sport? No. Actually, they're finding creatine is great for, I will say, kids 13 and over. There is research in children, but it's not established enough yet for them to actually make any strong statements about that. It's great for the elderly. It's great for older adults. It's great for active adults. It's great for sedentary adults. It's good for a lot of people. It's not good for people with certain conditions, especially those with kidney conditions. And there's a couple other conditions that you want to be aware of. Do a quick little Google search and you can see there's a couple rare genetic conditions in which people should not be taking creatine. But mostly also, if you have any kidney conditions, please check with your physician first. Rihanna, where can you get the calculator? The link is right there in my bio in Instagram. Just go ahead and click on Linktree and you'll see it's like a little fire and it says calorie calculator. Just hit that and then you can just whip it out on your mobile phone. Okay. And boy, Kim, I feel you. She says food's so expensive now, it's hard to stay healthy. Fortunately, I mean, fruits and vegetables, they are the lowest price per unit when it comes to, and by the way, I don't buy organic. I know there might be some people here that are all for it, but there's a lot behind the whole organic labeling, and you can find your food a lot less expensive, and you're still getting some amazing fiber and all the phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals that you're going to be getting. But yeah, this is why, Kim, I'm with you there. I'm Walmart, Amazon, Costco. Those are the number one places I shop. And then on top of that, it's a lot of more whole foods. But at the same time also, well, I take it back. I would say actually probably half the foods I'm consuming, they are processed. And then I'm mixing them or blending them or baking them with whole foods to make them taste really, really good. And it works. And I can do it for a pretty good, I mean, as far as my budget on food goes, feeding myself and my two kids, I spend about $150 a week on food. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, to be honest with you. So, and we don't eat out much. But yeah, I know it's all relative, just based on where you are, how many mouths you're feeding. Here we go. Let me see more questions here. Okay. Oh, Christine, what do I think about berberine? I know there's a lot of talk about, you could do that instead of GLP-1 medications, etc. No, the literature simply suggests it's not anywhere close to as powerful. However, before I really speak to that one, I'm going to shoot you guys straight in that I need to educate myself a lot more on berberine, before I speak to it. I know a little bit, but not enough to feel confident sharing it with you guys. I do know that it's nowhere close to as potent and as powerful as GLP-1 medications. So let me do some research on that and come back to me with that question so I can actually tell you guys confidently at least my opinion on where I stand on it. I know others may disagree, but let me actually reach out to a few people and also do a little bit of my own research on that one for you. Oh, Shannon, you're very welcome, my friend. She says, thank you for the recipes and cooking lesson on Saturday. Shannon, I hope you tried some of the food. So guys, listen to this. For the first 500 people that bought the book, we did a big meal prep session, a live meal prep session on Saturday. And it went a little bit longer than normal because I wanted to make sure that they had absolutely everything that they needed to know about making puddings, about making ice creams, about making fried chicken, air fried chicken. We made French fries. We made 3 dips. We did ranch dip, we did cheeseburger spread, and we did queso, and we made blueberry cheesecake pancakes. And so, I mean, it was a blast. I hope you guys had fun with it. I really hope you enjoyed the whole experience there. And now you've got some delicious food stocked up in your fridge. But that's the beauty of it. It's like, look, 10 years ago, I certainly never would have thought that we could eat this way and stay lean or lose weight. You know, it's like, this is just unbelievable that we actually have these options. And we've got some incredible tools at our fingertips also with air fryers and the Ninja Creamy, and we've got our hot plates, and we've got, I mean, just a small investment in a few kitchen appliances, and then just understanding the foods to purchase and how to put them together quickly. It opens up a world of possibilities, and where you don't feel deprived and you don't feel restricted and you don't have to eat the same thing over and over and over again. So I hope you guys love it. And by the way, please, everybody that was a part of the meal prep, if you made your foods and you're loving them, please tag me when you guys post your stories, like especially in Instagram, because I'm always watching off of Instagram, but even in Facebook. But if you guys post your stories, please tag me in there, and so I can repost them as well. I'd love to celebrate in that with you, especially if you're like, I had no idea I could eat decadent chocolate pudding while I'm losing weight. You know, this is like, oh, like my nightcap, or I'm eating, you know, pretzel dream ice cream and fried chicken sandwiches. You know, so yeah, tag me in your posts, and I would love to repost them and celebrate with you. All right, let's go. More questions. Yo, Kill the King 19. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you. Yes. Oh, awesome. Trejos, Carolina. Oh, amazing. You tagged me yesterday on IG. Okay, I'll go look for it. I'll go look for it. Here we go. Let me see. Oh, it's amazing. Patricia says, Chris, I was so happy to prep all that, and I had hoped to save it, but my family ate it all. I warned you. I warned you when you start making food like this for your own health and wellness journey, your family's going to eat all of your food. So you got to make like twice as much, because like, how many of you were in that place where it's like you had to prep for your family and then you had to prep for yourself? No more. I'm telling you, but you got it. There's the one thing about this kind of method of making delicious comfort foods is that you have to make 2 to 3 times as much, because your family will eat all of it. Patricia, that makes me so happy. She says, now I have to make it again. LOL. Thanks for the book. You're trying the lava cake later, you're going to die. The lava cake is insane, especially with the actual chocolate lava that you're going to put on top. It's incredible. Oh, awesome. And you tagged me in IG. Fantastic. Thank you. I'll keep it going. Okay, here we go. Christine Love, she's in menopause and she's got like 25 pounds to lose. She says the hardest part is the belly fat. Yeah, that happens in menopause. It absolutely does. So first of all, you're not alone, and just know that you are one of millions of women in the same boat. What do I recommend to burn the belly fat? So here's the catch when it comes to menopause. When your hormones take a drop, not only does it affect you significantly mentally, but also clearly affects your body physically, in that when your testosterone drops, you are going to lose muscle. And not only that, as you lose that muscle, your metabolism goes down. And so even if you keep eating the same, you're going to gain body fat. If you were consuming 2,000 calories or 1,800 calories a day before menopause, and then you go into menopause at 1,800 calories a day, all of a sudden you lose muscle and you gain fat. Your body recomps and not in the way that you want it to. And I can only imagine, especially coming from my position, all I can do is try to put myself in your shoes. And I can imagine how frustrating that is for every woman who's going through it. I can't imagine. And you're doing everything the same. And all of a sudden you lose muscle and gain fat. And a lot of it is belly fat. Okay. So what do we do? Number one, keep resistance training, keep hitting your protein targets. I can't stress that enough. Focus on your sleep as much as you possibly can, just to help optimize as much as you possibly can naturally. Here's the other thing, and I know it's not for everyone, but I would highly suggest you go speak with your licensed practitioner, your physician, your OBGYN, and just explore to see if hormone replacement therapy might be right for you. And do all of your own research as well, because I have seen that completely change so many women's lives for the better. But I also know that I have plenty of friends who are not candidates for hormone replacement surgery, for hormone replacement therapy. And so just keep that in mind. But here's the thing: if you want to continue to lose the belly fat, and you're not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, or you decide that's not your best thing, along with your resistance training and your sleep and your increase in daily movement and your steps and all these different things, because you have to create more of a deficit. Now, we've already established that, say you're eating 1,800 calories before, well, you can't eat that anymore. Now, maintenance might be 1,600 calories. That's going to be maintenance. So now you have to create a deficit from there. So you're going to have to be consuming 1,300, 1,400 calories just so that you're not starving yourself, but you're going to have to create more of a deficit. You can also do that by increasing your daily steps, where you can actually, you might increase that 1,800 number to 2,000, 2,100, 2,200. Or if you're extremely active, maybe 24, 2,500. Then you won't have to eat so few calories to create that deficit to lose the weight. I hope that makes sense. There's a couple different options here for you, but I would say more than anything, just explore your options when it comes to hormones and see if it's right for you. I'm not for it or against it. I'm for you educating yourself and determining what's in your best interest. But again, I've seen it change so many lives for those who do choose it. And I've seen people who've not chosen it and they continue to live on into some of their best years yet. But they also understand the implications that come with the fact that you've lost 3 of your incredibly potent hormones when it comes to your physical and mental health and longevity. So just keep that in mind as you're going through the process. Okay. Oh, Jesse, if you were one of the 500 people that got my book early and you did miss the live, don't worry. We're actually going to be emailing it out to everybody. So everyone who actually purchased the book, if you're part of the first 500, we will be emailing the live meal prep out so you can make the food with me. And I hope that'll really help. Melody, where's the book? Oh, what's the book? It's my Deliciously Fit. It's my high protein comfort food recipe book. I dropped it on Wednesday of last week. It finally came out. And so you can get it if you actually go to my website, chrispowell.com. It's in the drop down menu, or you can actually see it. It's in my, the links in my bio. So you can check that out. Okay, here we go. And then, okay, one more question, and time flies, guys. We're having fun. I freaking love this, guys. I mean, we've been going strong for almost 2.5, 3 months now, right? Like every Monday, we're having a blast. Oh, and there's so many good questions. I see the peptides. I see reverse dieting. I see, oh my gosh. Okay, but the one thing I see thyroid problems. I've got Hashimoto's thyroiditis, diagnosed, gosh, almost 15 years ago. So it's so much to speak to there. But the one I was going to hone in on real quick, Krista Ann, you get the final question of the day. How much water and fluids should we be consuming on the weight loss journey? So there is no one size fits all answer to when it comes to our fluids. However, a really good rule of thumb, and those of you who have followed me for a while, you're going to know this one. It's going to be half your body weight in ounces every day. So say you weigh 300 pounds, 150 ounces a day. That would be an incredible amount to be hydrated. Say you're 200 pounds. Well, then 100 ounces a day would be amazing to be minimally hydrated. Now, of course, if you live at altitude, you might need to drink a little bit more. If you live in a dry environment or a hot environment, you might need to drink more. If you spend a lot of time outside moving, then you might need to drink a little bit more. When you're moving a lot, you can lose about a quart an hour. So it all depends on you. And but also keep this in mind. Flavor your water every single time. Whatever fluid you're drinking, every time it touches your lips, take 10 gulps before putting it down. There's a few different tactics you can take to make it really easy to hit your hydration targets. Also keep in mind that toward your hydration targets, the water in your food counts as well. How crazy is that? Coffee counts. Fruit counts. The water that's in your fruit and your vegetables, which are some of the most voluminous foods when it comes to water. And so that it counts. Do I count it? No, because I don't. It's like I just ate, I don't know, a cup and a half of watermelon. Do I count it? I personally don't. But can you? Technically, yes, you can. So I hope that really helps. Yeah, remember, it's everything you eat and everything you drink except alcohol. And yes, even caffeine. Caffeine's a very mild diuretic. It doesn't flush you, but alcohol does. That does not count. And when it comes to alcohol, when the bottle touches your lips, do not take 10 gulps before putting it down. So only in moderation every once in a while, because it will greatly slow down your weight loss journey. Okay, that's all I've got about that. My friends, awesome session as usual. I got to jump to my 11 o'clock meeting. Thank you guys so much. Hang on to these questions because they're so good. I see some low carb day questions in here. It is great walking on low carb days. Strength training, you're definitely going to take a hit. I'll tell you that right now. Actually, okay, I just had to answer that last question. Okay, guys, hang on to these, and I'll be back next Monday because these are way too good to pass up. Y'all are amazing. Keep up the great work. Like, let's crush it this week. Come on. Lots of positivity. We brought it today. You guys are awesome. All right, friends, have a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you guys on Facebook and on Instagram. And love you guys. See ya.